Hello wine lovers, I just tasted a vintage collection of champagne coming from the boutique producer of Champagne du Noyer de Segonzac, or Champagne DS. This, when I say boutique producer, is a production of 2,000 bottles per year, so it's very minuscule. And the idea is always vintage, always Premier Cru, always Blanc de Blanc, and always Extra Brut. In terms of Premier Cru, these are villages situated in between the Montagne de Reims, where we have more Pinot Noir, the full-bodied, darker fruit characters, and the Côte de Blanc, where we have more of the chalky, the finesse, the freshness, and the Chardonnay. So depending on the vintages, the Chardonnay can appear a bit more like a Pinot Noir, or un Chardonnay qui pinote, as the French would say. Secondly, I have to say that it's always an Extra Brut, and I think that sometimes the trend of making super dry champagnes is not always positive, because I think with evolution, these champagnes should be able to evolve, and I think a hint of sugar helps that evolution. And these are consecutive 6 vintages that they were disgorged and released in 2022. And the idea is certainly not only to show the greatest champagnes ever made, but to give us a taste of the diversity and the variations between vintages. So we start back in 2005, which was a rather sunny year, rather mixed bag in champagne. But again, we have to say that with a small production, you're capable of producing a great champagne, regardless of vintage. And 2005, in my mind, appeared a bit younger than I would say, but it also showed a bit more of those darker Montagne de Reims flavors. 2006 was probably the one with the most evolution, not in a negative way, because this is not oak aging, this is not oxidative aging, it's just like it's a vintage that has evolved a bit quicker. One of the great surprises was 2007. This was also a rather mixed bag overall in champagne, but I think particularly for Chardonnay and for Blanc de Blanc, it turned out truly well. And I think that 2007 would be a fair competitor to the wonderful 2008, because coming back to 2008, we know it was across the board a wonderful vintage in champagne, and I think it just shows a bit more of everything, of the purity, of the brightness, the elegance, and the length. Then 2009, warmer vintage, but this one particularly appeared as a cooler style. I believe this was earlier harvest, again with the Extra Brut, with the Blanc de Blanc, certainly a champagne showing more elegance than a lot of other wines from 2009. And 10 was a bit more similar to 9 stylistically. It was a warmer summer, but or harvested under cooler conditions. But again, this is not to say one is better than the others. They are different stages of evolution now. They're all fairly late disgorgements, and they still have plenty to give in terms of your taste when it comes to mature champagne. But nonetheless, I think this is a very ambitious collection, and showing the great diversity of champagne. And I truly enjoyed this little exercise. Cheers.